Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I am K Cosmic.
Today we are joined by a guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name is GregFPS, the zombies extraordinaire, and I'm a YouTuber and streamer, and I play zombies all the time.
Hey,
that
that's what we love to
intro,
hear.
that always gets me. You are the zombies extraordinaire. I can promise you that much, sir.
The
damn.
iconic zombies extraordinaire intro.
It was a meme. It was literally a meme.
It was a
I did
meme,
it
wasn't
once, and then people wanted it, so I kept it.
Hey, you know what? It brings it. You know, it's got a nice ring to it. The zombies extraordinaire, like it's grand.
I absolutely love it.
You know, it's great.
Mm.
Well. Anyways, we got some stuff to talk about today. Season 5 Reloaded is right around the corner, as well as the numbers event in both Warzone and Black Ops Cold War. A lot of interesting additions to zombies are being added with Season 5 Reloaded as well. So I guess without further ado, we'll just jump right into it. What do we think, first things first in Season 5 Reloaded, what do we think of the all-new survival mode that is coming to Outbreak with healing yourself with food instead of health regeneration? What do y'all think about that?
I'm excited to hear Greg's thoughts on this, honestly. I'm really, really excited.
Definitely.
So the first thing I thought of was like Minecraft survival because of like food and all that. So you got to find canned corn, cookies. I think it was like chicken soup or something, and then pizza. So I mean that sounds interesting. I'm really curious to see how rare these items are going to be, because like whenever I normally play Outbreak, I just get completely like destroyed by something. Like a panzer is just going to land on you. You have like 10 health. I need to find food. Like, are you going to be able to hold on to it and then use it? Like that should be a feature. If not, that's going to be rough.
Yeah, it would definitely be good as a tactical where you use it as on your left bumper or something like that. You could stack them. But yeah, no, I can definitely relate to that, where a lot of times hellhounds come in abundance and light me on fire and die on wave 1. So yeah, I hope you'll be able to store your food a little bit and you'll be able to regenerate your health that way. It's definitely going to give us a little bit of an OG zombies feel too, because you're going to be starting with your 1911 pistol instead of your loadout weapon. So a little bit of a throwback to OG zombies. But what do you think about this, Cosmic?
I think the whole food mechanic's quite cool. When I read it at first, I was like, what? Really? I'm excited for it, Phil. I'm excited to see it and the game mode in general. I think Outbreak is one of them game modes, as Tracker said, will evolve over time. And it's its own separate game mode, but now it's getting its own game modes. So it shows how much of an important actual game mode it is to the game. I keep saying game mode. But no, I'm excited that they're doing more of Outbreak. I think after all the kind of backlash a good portion of the community gives Treyarch, I think, I don't know, I was kind of expecting Treyarch to maybe stop with the mode, and I'm happy they're not. I'm happy they're going on with this project, because it's clear, it shows they care about it. They really care about the game mode, and I think it's fun. I think Outbreak personally is quite fun. Maybe a little bit boring after a while, but I can definitely, with these new game modes they're adding, I think a lot more replay value will come into it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think as they continue to update Outbreak, and I feel like we've said this every single week as of recently, but again, Outbreak is going to get better over time, and I think this is another good step to making Outbreak a much better and replayable game mode. And in addition of just adding all the new Outbreak regions too, I mean, I was not expecting Armada of all places to be an Outbreak region. Now, I was actually just talking with Greg about this before the podcast started. We all kind of should have seen this coming, actually, because the water vehicles, the Sea-Doo and the gunboat, they're in the zombies menu, and you can customize them in the zombies menu. So I feel like we should have seen this coming, but at the same time, it's kind of a curveball. But yeah, what do you guys think about Armada on in the rotation for Outbreak as well?
I hope the Orda is like swimming, honestly, and then it just pops up or something. But I mean, I think it's cool. Armada has a lot of zip lines and stuff, so it'll be interesting going from ship to ship and all that sort of thing as well.
Definitely.
So I don't really know like what else they could add to make it different. Like would you have to, like, instead of the new escort mission with the truck where you like drive it around, are they gonna have you do it on a boat?
Ooh, probably.
Like, that'd be cool.
A boat,
like
a submarine.
Ships, you have to grab one and hop on. and then go to a
Yeah.
different boat or something.
That's gonna be
That would
weird.
be really cool to see. Unless they just have like another new challenge, but they usually say when they do. So
Mm.
it's gonna be interesting. I think Armada was definitely one of my favorite maps in the like beta that they had to play.
Same.
So it's definitely gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Armada is a good map, especially for the combined arms domination. I said this
Mm.
a while back, and I still stand by this. Armada really gives me the feel of original Star Wars Battlefront 2 because of all the domination points act kind of like command posts, and you have the vehicles and the ground combat, and just all the stuff being added on to it. It kind of reminds me of that, which I love Star Wars Battlefront too. So it's fun playing that, and now seeing it in zombies, I think is going to be really interesting. But you bring up a good point there, Greg. What's going to happen with the escort, the transport, things like that? Will be a boat, a submarine? Will they just not exist?
I think it'll definitely be the most unique Outbreak region, if I'm being completely honest.
For sure.
Because we haven't seen it before, obviously, and I'm really, really excited to see how it plays. Like you were saying, Greg, with the Order, what are they going to do with that? Is it just going to spawn on the boat? Is it going to walk up? Who knows? I'm really, really excited to see what they're going to do with that.
Or maybe an Outbreak region without an Order, and we can all praise the Lord for
Yeah.
that.
We don't have to waste all our ammo.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I guess the only other thing they could theoretically do is add an island or add another boat or something.
A little island.
Like, I don't know, like an aircraft carrier. That'll be big enough to have an Orda. I don't know. I mean,
it's like the Advanced Warfare Island on Carrier.
Oh yeah,
It just
Carrier,
like teleports you there.
Yeah.
And it's just like an Orda, and there's like probably like a 10 by 10 foot thing, and it's just there.
Yeah.
And
just get absolutely stomped.
That'd be great.
But yeah, it's gonna be weird. I think the water combat is gonna be one of the focuses for Armada, not just the ship combat. So I think they will have a number of objectives in the water. I don't know what they would be, but I feel like it'll feel very similar to Zetsubo with the water combat. And obviously you have the gunboats, so you can gun down zombies that way. But that's going to be the most interesting part to me is swimming around. And are zombies going to be just on the ocean floor, just hanging out? You shoot zombies and hopefully you don't
even
drown.
Go that low? I don't even think you can go that low.
I don't even know, to be honest. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, I don't even, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So
very true. Zombies pop up out of the water, like they got the floaties on. They're just hanging out in the middle of the ocean.
I think
speaking of floaties, the duck things from
yes,
yeah, it can do that. Yeah,
it'd be a great opportunity. Bring back Quacknarok.
Here's the thing, right? Treyarch have an opportunity to make an absolute unique experience with this Outbreak region compared to the rest, and I think they should go for it. They want to make it silly and goofy. Go for it. I think if they just make it a big meme where they have like the floaties on them, just go for it. Honestly, it'd be great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I think the uniqueness is what's gonna stand out, and we haven't seen a lot of maps with the water combat. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, we had Zetsubo no Shima, but that's just one map, and that's just one little tiny area that we had in the cave and little areas scattered around. But
there's a little swimming on like Sanatorium, I think.
Yeah, there's a little bit of swimming there too.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
But this is going to be a map that's
going to be a huge
focus. Like that's going to be it's going to be a huge part. So that'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Absolutely. And in addition, talking about Outbreak, we also have a new world event, which is the Black Chest, the Dark Ether Corrupted Black Chest. I was talking to my stream about this the other day, and we're just not entirely sure how that's going to be different from the Golden Chest. Is it going to be like a soul box? Is it going to be something like you got to find some keys? We don't know. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on how the Black Chest is going to be different from the Golden Chest in Outbreak, if you have any ideas.
I mean, they said that the reward would outweigh the risk. So I would assume it has to be pretty good. The gold chest is already good, so I don't really know if is it going to give you an extra perk. a lot of like ether tools or something, upgrade your weapons maybe. Something like that would be worth it, I would say.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah.
I I think with it, it's just going to be a lot more intense than the normal chest. I think we can. I think it's going to be a lot more intense. But to reward us, they'll give us, maybe perhaps an extra perk, something along that lines. Maybe a fully pack punch weapon.
Mm.
I don't know. We'd have to wait and see. I mean, it looks cool. It looks very cool. I mean that
Yeah.
much. But I'm kind of scared as well because it doesn't look that friendly. So like the gold chest. The gold chest has quite a friendly look to it. Like, oh, you kill a few zombies here and there. If you get a few stuff. This looks a little bit more scary. So I'm excited
For
to see
sure.
what it's all about, though.
I forgot who said this on my stream, but someone brought up maybe it's like a mini mimic boss fight where it's the chest is comprised of mimics or
Ooh.
something, and you have to fight a handful of mimics in order to open the chest. Something along those lines. But I really like what you guys are saying about, an extra perk. Maybe it's a guaranteed perk every single time, or maybe it's a guaranteed ether tool every single time, because we only have that red crystal quest for the ether tool, which is already good and it's already great. But
with depth perception,
with
it's
depth
easy
perception,
as hell.
it's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
easy. So maybe if this is another way to get an ether tool, is Treyarch going, okay, now you kind of have the easy way to get the ether tool. Let's give you a harder way to get an ether tool, and maybe that's where the black chest comes in.
Oh, you're playing a 4-player game? Maybe everyone should get one.
There you go.
One of you. Yeah.
That would be great. The black chest gives you a bunch of ether tools for 4 players. Guaranteed perk, fully packed punch weapon, maybe a wonder weapon. Maybe it's a guaranteed wonder weapon.
Ooh.
No, I like that
Ray
idea.
gun.
Give me a ray gun, exactly. Don't even give me
absolutely.
any of the other wonder weapons. Just give me the ray
Or
gun.
the Cerberus. Add the Cerberus.
Oh yeah.
True.
Without
be good.
telling us.
If the Cerberus gets added to Outbreak, which I believe it is going to eventually, that would honestly just overthrow the ray gun as the weapon to use in Outbreak.
The rate of fire is insane.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cerberus is
I've
great.
used the ray gun on Mauer, and it's terrible.
No,
it's definitely not as good. Yeah.
No.
Especially since with the Cerberus you have all the variants, and I know a lot of the variants aren't as good as the base version of the Cerberus.
I don't even touch the variants anymore unless I'm doing the Easter.
But I mean, I don't know. I like the Swarm variant. I think the Swarm is pretty good against special enemies.
Yeah, and I think with it as well is when you're running out of ammo, there's always alternatives you can go. Obviously, you can buy ammo, but if you're running out of ammo, you're like, oh, I can pick up this variant. It's not as good, but it lets me shoot for a bit. I don't know. I think it's a very unique wonder weapon. If they bring it into Outbreak, I think it'll be overpowered. I think people will absolutely love using it.
True. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. The other thing that they mentioned in the blog post was the Rampage Inducers, which is going to temporarily turn your game into cranked, essentially. And all the zombie spawns are going to be faster, and they're going to be sprinting, and it's going to be really interesting. So what do you guys think about the Rampage Inducers? I think it's going to be heavily utilized in speedruns.
Yeah, I agree. I think if the Easter egg is actually available in it, then it will be definitely used. And it's going to be really good for high rounds, I think. If you can just speed through like the first 20 rounds, which are usually the most boring, and just speed through them quicker, it'll be a lot better. And also camo challenges too. If you have potentially more zombies spawning, and you can just exfil on 21, which I think is the fastest way to level up weapons already. It might be better for that as well. But if you can speed through rounds, I mean, that's going to save a lot of time overall for either high rounds or the Easter egg. So
absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for it as well. Because I think with zombies right now, for me personally, I love the game mode. But playing it after so long, I think it's one of them things where you know how a good zombie game is roughly 3 to 4 hours, right? It's I would like to get to a faster point faster, if you get what I mean, like a higher round in a faster amount of time. But saying that, Cold War high rounds are obviously quite fast. Saying that anyway, but I think the fact that it'll be kind of cranked in the game here and there, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll speed up the game process, and I think overall it'll add a lot more intensity to the game. So all positives for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives us something else to do. That's another thing. You know, I mean, I think the thing with Cold War is there's so many different things to do in the game, and little tiny things that make the game stand out, and just adding more things like this makes it really great, honestly. And I'm looking forward to using the Rampage Inducer, and yeah, skipping ahead to some of those higher rounds so I can get those boring early rounds out of the way.
Exactly.
But yeah, I believe you have to kill zombies next to the Rampage Inducer, or you activate it. Like, I forgot what they said in the blog post. What did they specifically say? It was, I think it was zombie kills.
Everyone has to agree.
Oh yes, that's what it
do
is.
it.
Just like an
so
exfil.
it reminds me of like the Red Skull on Tortured Path, where you could like, there was like a red skull, and if you beat it already, then you could like do the harder version or whatever.
Okay.
So it was, it was faster zombies, stronger, all that stuff.
I see.
So it's probably going to be some sort of iteration of that, which I think is kind of cool. At least it gives us something else to do. Like, that's the main thing with Cold War, right? It's like you play it so much or so little because you've already played it so much. You need new things to do big time. So.
Exactly. So
absolutely.
Personally, I think Cold War is the best zombie game we've gotten. It's just there's a lack of things to do in it. And I hate saying that. Because there's more content in Cold War in a lot of aspects than there's in past games. But I don't know. It's just the game's so good, but it feels like there's not really a lot of options for playstyle. I feel like with Cold War especially, it's one of them games where you sit in a corner, and that was like Black Ops 4 and 3 as well. But with adding in this new game mode, I think it's going to add a different playstyle to it because it's going to be so much more hectic. So.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think every game, someone somewhere is going to discover a camping strategy. No matter what it is,
exactly.
You're going to be sitting in a corner on some maps. I mean, you can sit in a corner. I mean, I know Black Ops 4 was notorious for that, especially with the Ancient Evil in the spawn room. I know a lot of people use that. And then also, who remembers the ballistic knife, ethereal razor, and electric burst strategy, just doing that over and over again. That was insanely broken. So there's definitely going to be something in every game that is going to lead up to you camping in a corner. Ring of Fire is the thing in Cold War. So I mean, it's going to be interesting with the Rampage Inducers, how that kind of encourages a different play style. But man, I just think every game, no matter what you're doing, where you are, there's going to be some kind of camping strategy.
True. Yeah.
And some games is going to be easier than others, I think, for that. I mean, Black Ops 3, to me personally, is not as easy to camp, but other games like Black Ops 4 and Cold War, it's definitely a little bit easier too. But yeah, that's another thing they're adding to the game, which keep at it. Keep at it, Treyarch. Add more stuff. And now this next part is going to be exclusively for the PlayStation players for now until November. Onslaught is getting another game mode, which is Onslaught kind of goes under the radar with the LTMs that they have in Onslaught.
Yeah.
This one is called Diminishing Light, and I'll read it straight from the blog post. A hectic twist on the traditional formula where the circle shrinks over time. If the orb collapses on itself, it will implode and destroy you and your duo partner. Shoot it to slow down the shrink rate or collect clock power-ups to pause the collapse. So that sounds really interesting. Completing surges will revert the orb to its original size. So that is the new Diminishing Light game mode for Onslaught. Kind of.
Sorry.
Oh no. Go ahead. I was just gonna say it was just implementing Cranked and Onslaught at the same time, but go ahead.
Kevin Drew, the zombies guy, was in my chat a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, and he said thank you for playing the Onslaught beta. To me in the chat. So I'm pretty sure it's they're just testing out a bunch of stuff right now.
Wow.
And then then it will probably be bigger, because he was revealing a bunch of stuff, really interesting things. There was supposed to be an Anywhere But Here Gobblegum side Easter egg on ZNS, and stuff like that. We told him not to nerf the servers, and he said there's not going to be any more nerfs, if anything buffs. on like
That's
wonder
good.
weapons. So
Nice.
like, yeah, I mean, and it was really interesting to see his perspective, and he wants me to like help him do Easter eggs in the game. So
That is
That's
cool.
great.
I'm
That's
I'm
cool.
pretty excited about it. Yeah.
But
Dude.
the fact he said, "Thank you for playing the Onslaught beta." I think
That's
here's the
exciting.
thing. Me and Jason said at the start of the game mode, this is going to be a game mode that's going to evolve over time and people will grow to really like. Oh, obviously, only for PlayStation players right now, which is unfortunate. People on Xbox and PC, sucks for you guys. But for the people that actually play it on PlayStation, I think at the start people weren't too sure about the game mode, and now I think it's definitely such an improvement and is one of the best side game modes we've ever gotten in Zombies. I think
Yeah.
can we all agree on that? Can we all agree on Onslaught being?
I mean, it allows you to play all the multiplayer maps,
Yeah.
but in zombies, which
in Zombies,
Yes.
that alone is really cool.
Yeah.
and it has a lot of replay value as well. Just the fact that
Yeah.
you can play in any map, and you can, sure you're stuck in the kind of the orb area, but there's still a lot of like, there's not so much camping in the game mode, which I like. I like
Yeah.
that. I like how there's more play style you can kind of have with it, and it's not just sitting in a corner like normal zombies, which I really do appreciate.
And you actually
And-
get rewards too. There's like
Yeah.
blueprints that you can earn from playing.
That's
it.
true.
You get
And
rewarded for
intel
playing.
as well.
All the intel. You know,
All
man, the Onslaught intel is underrated. I think it's definitely
Dude,
underrated.
On Cartel, Raul Menendez's brother got bit by a zombie. That's
Yeah,
like
man.
the only thing I remember from all the intel that I got.
Which officially means Raul Menendez is canon in the Dark Ether storyline.
And he's probably gonna be in the next game or something, yeah.
That'd
Yeah,
be
it's
great.
The next main antagonist.
Cold War 2.
Cold
That's
War
the thing.
2.
That's the thing. What do we think they'll do for the next game? I think they might go back to a more feature setting like Black Ops 2, if I'm being honest.
Maybe. I mean,
Like
Vanguard
2025.
is going to be Dark Ether 2. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Well,
really
but-
interesting to see where that goes.
What's
Yeah.
before though? So I feel like Dr. Vogel and stuff will have more
Yes.
of an emphasis if they actually continue that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
we'll have to
I
wait
think
and
they
see,
will.
I guess.
I
And
mean,
I have-
it's a perfect opportunity to continue that and learn
Hmm.
more about Project End Station and unravel more
I
of the
hope the last
conspiracy.
map ties into it somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we
And
need
you know-
that tie-in.
You know what I love as well? This is a prequel kind of done right, I feel like. I feel like we've had enough time with Cold War and the story developing that we can actually have a prequel and they can build to make the story a lot more fleshed out.
Mhm.
With Black Ops 4, obviously, we had the Chaos Crew, which are a great crew. I love them. They're very cool. But obviously, we had Dead of the Night, and Dead of the Night was just done way too fast, in my opinion, as a prequel to characters we've just met. With the Dark Ether, we kind of know the characters already. We know what's kind of going on, and the fact we're getting a prequel to it to build kind of under this new story, I think that's a great idea and a great opportunity. And I'm glad that going forward, most likely, it's just going to be Treyarch Zombies, one story, no confusion, no other timelines or anything like that. It's just all one consistent story.
Yep.
Just finish the Dark Ether story so we can have Chaos back, please.
There you go. Hey, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having Chaos back. They got done dirty with that cliffhanger, man.
Dude, they had so
Yeah.
much potential, man.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, the story for that even that season was probably planned out, and they just never used it.
Most likely. I mean,
Yeah,
I think the thing is, because there's so many things that go on behind the scenes when you're producing a game or just producing anything that I think realistically none of us will know the complete and true story, but it definitely feels like, yeah, there should have been more. The Chaos storyline was going to have some sort of big plan for it, and
yeah,
you definitely get the feeling that, all right, something went wrong. Something was just screwed up. It's
Yeah.
all FUBAR, and it's just like, who even knows? And I think that's part of the reason why Black Ops 4 is such a... Hey, if we're talking about Black Ops 4,
No, like, sorry.
but the reason why Black Ops 4 is polarizing, too, to a lot of people in the community, just because, we have so many varying and different opinions about Black Ops 4. We have so many different theories as to, Zombies Chronicles 2, or, why did they do this? Why did they do that? This was changed. Did Activision do that? So it's such a polarizing game because I just don't think we know the whole story behind it. And will we ever? Who knows? I mean, we would have to talk to someone at Treyarch to know the full story.
I mean, Kevin Drew said he enjoyed working on Ancient Evil because he was geeking out on the Greek mythology the whole time.
Yeah,
And he also coded the Origins Easter egg too.
Oh
like
wow,
crazy stuff. But
that's cool.
there's so much potential with chaos, man. Like they could have done so many things,
Hmm.
and it's just disappointing, honestly. Like the library in Alexandria was in Egypt. I mean, they
Hmm.
could have done like pyramid stuff. They could have done Atlantis.
Oh yeah.
Because
Like
they
the
had,
list goes on. You
yeah,
know?
with that whole storyline and with it being a lot more based on mythology and all that, they could have been so creative with it. And I feel like I think it's just Black Ops 4 in general. I quite like Black Ops 4 looking back at it. I think it was an alright game. And I think Chaos was severely hated on for not really too much of a good reason because they didn't
Yeah.
finish off Ether and
Hmm.
people were mostly there for Ether in the first place. But I think with Chaos, if we just held on to it for a little bit more, I mean, like just a few more maps, I feel like we would have got like. I feel like the community would have gotten drawn to it and really appreciated it for what it was. And I
I
hate the fact that it didn't
yeah.
get finished.
I thought all the boss fights, maybe Dead of the Night was a little all right, but
Hmm.
the other ones were like insane, dude. I remember
Yeah,
like a giant elephant spawned. I hadn't seen anything about it, and I was like, "What?" Like, it was crazy, dude. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I miss. That's what I loved about Black Ops 4. Like the Perseus boss fight was insanely good too.
Hmm.
Like all the chaos stuff was great.
It's
Yeah,
funny
man, those
because
are good boss fights.
for a lot of the maps in Black Ops 4, when you look at them individually, they're really not that bad. The only two bad
Yeah,
maps in the game that I find personally are Alpha Omega and a, a little bit of Voyage. But even Voyage, you can respect it for the fact that it's the Titanic and it looks beautiful. And it's not. I personally don't think it's the most fun map in the world, but I can definitely respect it for what it is.
I feel that. The thing
yeah.
is, man, with Voyage of Despair, the thing that just turns me off with Voyage is just all the catalysts that spawn in. I don't know what it is about that map specifically, but I feel like I get more catalysts that spawn in on that map and 9 to be quite frank. But that map and the Stokers and just everything on top of Voyage of Despair, it just makes it. I don't know. I don't want to come back and play it, which is why I feel like I'm going insane a little bit. I'm trying to complete the hard mode unsinkable gauntlet right now. I've never done it before just because I just never liked it. And I'm trying to do it now because my everyone on Twitch met the criteria in order for me to do it. I did a little community challenge, long story short. And so I'm trying to complete it and I'm going, man, Voyage does have some good aspects with like the Kraken. I like the Kraken as a wonder weapon. And just I don't know if it's just the hard mode unsinkable gauntlet being hard and the challenges being hard, but I'm respecting the normal flow of Voyage of Despair way more because
Now.
I'm being tormented by the challenges of hard mode unsinkable. But yeah, no, I agree. Voyage definitely isn't my cup of tea necessarily, but it does have good aspects to it. Where you and I disagree, Cosmic, is Alpha Omega. I don't mind Alpha Omega as much as other people.
Worst zombie map
Oh,
ever.
dude, the like Nova spawners, whatever they're called,
Yeah.
Nova blasters are so obnoxious.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the
I'll
thing.
give
That's
you
my
that.
biggest
I-
complaint about the map.
Unplayable, dude.
Yeah, and Jason, I told you this before. That's my biggest issue, right? You see, with zombies, I'm perfectly fine with having normal zombies, another boss type to throw you off, and then play cows or dogs. The fact is, with Alpha Omega, the map's really tight. First of all, you get normal zombies, you get dogs, you get the stronger zombies, you get Nova crawlers, you get the shocking ones, you get the stronger Nova crawlers, and anything you do is countered by them. Kind of like the catalyst from Black Ops 4 in a way, I find, but there are a lot. Alpha Omega's Black Ops 4, Chaos even. You get. I think Alpha Omega, if it was just this map itself with zombies, would be perfectly. Or no, it'd take it from a solid 2 to like a 5 at least for me. I
think Rushmore made the map better and more.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no. The
it,
map
it
had
was
personality.
totally. It was kind of a reskin of Gorod Krovi, though, if we're honest. Like
Oh yeah.
for the most part, like it's exactly the same, like a fetch quest type thing.
You even
For
get
sure.
even get the characters kind of playing off what other characters said in Gorod Krovi, because what did Nikolai said not Nikolai, what's it?
So it's something about Stalingrad, wasn't it?
Stalingrad. Yeah, so first of all they did that, yeah, and then the polar opposite was said in the other map. In a lot of ways the maps are similar because it's like a fetch quest. But I think the map had personality. I think it had some of the best writing because the characters and dialogue, and I think that was definitely the best aspect of the map. I'm not hating on the map for that reason at all.
Hmm.
I just think it plays awful, and I don't enjoy playing it because it's just such a bad map. I don't like it. Don't like it.
Well, I mean,
And I think we can all agree that we didn't really want remakes either, like reimagines.
see, the thing is like,
I notoriously hate Blood of the Dead because they
Mhm.
ruined my favorite map, basically. You know, like I didn't want remakes of maps because I still believe that literally all of the maps are better in the original form, like
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
of them. You know,
yeah, I can
like
definitely.
Call of the Dead is so much better because of George. Mob of the Dead's so much better because of Afterlife and going to the bridge and all that stuff. 5
Yeah.
has the Pentagon Thief who just died on Alpha Omega, which makes no sense at all why he got teleported there. Like they didn't really explain it. Like they could have done so much more, dude. And
I think
I never liked
I-
Nuketown, and
in the
Alpha
first place,
Omega's
yeah.
not that great anyways. But
Here's the
oh
thing.
man,
I have to agree with you on the whole blood and afterlife point. I think Mob of the Dead is such a tight and chaotic map that it works in Black Ops 2 because it has the feature such of afterlife.
Mhm.
It's not a game where quick revives are really like self revives are a good idea. I think Treyarch knew when they're making Mob, we need another system. This map a lot more tight quartered. It's a lot more chaotic in a sense. And I think they're taking that away from Blood and adding dogs. I think dogs in that map are awful as well. Don't really like them too much.
Yeah.
It's a shame because it's essentially the exact same map in terms of layout. Sure, there's changes here and there, but they managed to take a map that's a solid 9, 10 out of 10 and make it like a 5 or 4. I don't know.
yeah, I have over 1,000 hours of speed running Mob of the Dead, and
Wow.
and that's before, like I was so excited for Blood of the Dead,
Mhm.
and I was excited. I was at Treyarch playing Blood of the Dead, and I was excited about it. And then the Easter egg got solved like 2 weeks later because of the stupid round 17 Brutus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the Easter egg is just horrible, man. Like I don't
That's
want
the
to use the
biggest fault.
shield 27 times to
Yeah.
do the Easter egg, and it's
That
actually
is-
27 times. Like it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst part about Blood of the Dead is the Easter egg. I agree with that 100%. I think Blood of the Dead is one of those maps where if you're not doing the Easter egg and you're just kind of playing the map just to survive and just hang
It's
out,
not as bad.
it's not as bad. But
I
if you're
got
doing
dark,
the Easter egg,
I got Dark Ether or whatever, or Dark Matter playing Blood of the Dead pretty much.
Yeah. Same here, man.
Because that's the easiest way to get it because you had all the really good camping spots and to get the headshots and that.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
Magma Gat personally is one of my favorite wonder weapons. I really like the Magma Gat. I like the fire ability of it. So it's a good variation.
And what I'll say as well is going back to Blood, as much as I hate the Easter egg and kind of the way the map feels, just looking at the scenery of the map and just looking at it all and taking it in compared to Cold War, I think I'm not gonna say the maps have more personality, but they did have more personality back then in a way.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it's mostly because of the characters. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
feel
as
like
well, yeah.
now there's no personality with the characters.
It's really because Cold War Zombies is fundamentally a great zombie game. There's so many reasons why you
It has
prefer this
good
over past-
mechanics, but it's
Yeah.
not good for like overall zombies. I feel.
No, and I think in a way, Cold War Zombies has lost the charm that every zombie game previous, even Black Ops 4 had. It's lost that charm factor of it and like the connection to the characters. Because even before we get characters like Samantha and Weaver, I don't know. I don't really sympathize with them. If I'm being completely honest, I care what's going on in the story, absolutely, but not as much as I did back in Black Ops 4. I don't know if I'm the only one.
I think part of the reason is because the Dark Ether story is
Just
still
starting, maybe?
fresh. You know,
Maybe.
I think
Yeah.
we need to get a little bit of extra time to really
Garrett,
get into it, and that's what I think DLC 4 will hopefully do for a lot of people.
The problem with the Dark Ether storyline, and while maybe we feel that way, is because they don't give us enough maps. 4 maps. The last time we had 4 maps, like we're getting another map. Last time we had 4 maps was World
Exos.
at War.
Mhm.
And
Exos
Exos.
zombies. There you
Yeah,
go.
but the last time. But like literally in a Treyarch game is World at War. And I
Yeah.
already feel like Shinonuma and Doris already had more interesting story than the Dark Ether does right now, in my personal opinion.
Well, I mean, I think another thing is too with the Dark Ether storyline is now me personally, I don't mind this as much, but like the intel helps you tell a lot of story too, and I know people sometimes just don't want to sit down and read the intel just because they want to play the game. Like I get it, like but like me personally, I don't mind going through some of the intel and learning a little bit more about the story, and I think I don't want to say it's a flaw of the Dark Ether storyline because it helps you tell the story if you read the intel, but at the same time, I recognize that people aren't going to do it.
You know what they could do to make it way more interesting? They could have you collect all the intel, and once you collect it all, then it gives you a cutscene or something.
Yeah.
That would be
I like that
way
idea.
better, because not only would it force people to go, and especially like YouTubers, to get the cutscene first or whatever, it would prioritize like that side of, and also progress the story in a more digestible format for everyone to see what's going on, rather because like I don't really, I think Milo might have made one on like one of the seasons or something, but like I feel like no one is going to take the time to go through and read all that stuff, like if I'm on the game, I'm gonna play it so I can level up and rank up and do other challenges. I'm not gonna sit there and just read. If I wanted to read, I would get a book and go sit outside, like
enjoy yourself. I mean, I think with the intel system, it's bitter and sweet because first of all, it lets Trek be a lot more kind of concise for their story. I feel like, and they don't have to fit everything into a cutscene, sort of. If you get what I mean. But at the same time as well, is all the things going on in the intel. It'd be so much cooler to see them in a cutscene, even if we didn't get as much. I think we can all agree on that. The intel is a cutscene, but at the same time, I can completely understand why they want to have intel in the game, because then for people that care about intel, the whole story's there. They have all their intel. They can go read it when they want, sort of thing. And again, cutscenes 100% better. I absolutely love sitting for a cutscene. The hype of a cutscene as well. Like going back to even Black Ops 3, and I remember staying off school to watch Easter egg hunts and like, oh, come get the cutscene, like fuck, this is exciting. I'm really, really excited. What's happening next, It's definitely...
I remember on Horizon Track, like Noah's nuke alarm went off like in the middle of
Oh man,
that was great.
Can we just reminisce for a second how great Black Ops 3 was? Damn.
Oh man.
The Giant. So I mean, the Giant was a good map. Shadows of Evil, great map, great ending cutscene. Richtofen coming out the portal. The Rising Draka playing on our heartstrings, and then it was just an emotional roller coaster. The saying, you wish you knew when the good times were happening, whilst they were happening, sort of. I wish I knew.
Even during that game, though, I remember people complaining. After,
there was,
like between like DNS and Gorod, it was like 3 months. But people I mean, like, I would, I think anyone would trade to go back to those times, but they'll never be the same now.
Nah, it's one of the things. I think Treyarch can definitely pull the magic again, and I think one of the reasons why people love Black Ops 3 so much was first of all, because zombies was still kind of relatively new in a sense. This was zombies for the first time on real next gen, and it was the first proper step up for zombies in a way. And I feel like it was the start of this new story as well with Primus.
Oh,
and like, I think as well for me, I was quite young at the time, so I was really getting invested into it because I didn't really play many other games. I'm not really good at first-person shooters. I'm really bad at multiplayer, but I'm okay at zombies, so that's why I kind of invested all my time in playing it. But I'll say, like, just nostalgia in general for Black Ops 3, so strong. And I wish I could just go back for that year, you know what I mean, and just experience it all again and all the community stuff. And I might have even started my YouTube channel back then if I knew what I knew now and I was going to go back, sort of thing.
That's what's crazy. Like watching everybody too, and watching all the videos, because I at the time didn't even think about posting content, right? But at the same time, it was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool if I got to do that. Oh, that'd be cool if I was able to do that. I mean, I'm here now doing it. But it's one of those things where you look back and I personally think what it must have been like to be a content creator during those times and to
See, that's how I feel about Black Ops 2 for me, because I was making content before
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 came out,
mhm.
and I was able to make content, and I was relatively small, and my channel blew up from Chronicles pretty much. But like that's how I felt about Black Ops 2, where I was watching like next gen NGT zombies and like
Yeah.
Lex and all them like way back in the day.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was like my star. I
Yeah.
wish I was making content then.
And
Yeah.
I think even going back to like the early days of the kind of earliest days of the zombie community, kind of I think the zombie community really started in terms of YouTube content. I guess at the start of Black Ops 1-ish, but really at the end of Black Ops 2 when we had a gap with GTA and we had Ghosts out, so there wasn't really much going on. And I think the top five's coming out, and I think one of the most nostalgic things for me at least is Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. And I think top 5 videos in general. Such a nostalgic. You see when you go back and watch like the Smith Plays top 5.
Yeah.
What a high you get and then you hear the outro like
because like I don't think because we obviously know the top 5s are a huge staple in the zombies community, but honestly, I still don't think we understand how big that was. For just Call of Duty and zombies and everything in general. That was, to me, such a turning point for the content creation, for the zombies community, for just everything, because now it showed there is an interest here. There is a serious interest in this, what's supposed to be just a side game mode, and now it's something larger than life. We have our own esports events. We have our own
really
esports
weird
teams.
that I noticed was on TikTok you can do hashtags, and I've been making like shorts of side Easter eggs from BO3 for fun, and the BO like hashtag like COD zombies has 1.1 billion like interests, and like any other like any other thing like just like Call of Duty memes and stuff, it's like not even close.
Yeah.
Like wow.
It's crazy. Like it has so much
that's
interest.
Crazy.
It's because zombies has such a big nostalgia factor, and I feel like a lot of people watching content in a way on TikTok are going to be that slightly older generation that maybe they don't play the game anymore, sort of thing. And then they see like a meme of when the boys leave you on the transit bus or something, and like sad music's playing or something like that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like there's never a worse feeling than getting left off the bus.
And then I also think the younger generation wants to learn more about like the previous match.
Very true.
There's interest there as well, because I think like I will go back and play a game on stream like BO1 or BO2, and like there's so many people are like, oh my gosh, like the memories and like all this stuff. Like that's the great thing about zombies too. Like you can play any iteration and people will want to watch it and love it.
Yeah. And I think with zombies as well is it's not so much like multiplayer where people play it for the year and it moves on. Don't get me wrong, we've had great games like BO3. I really like BO4's multiplayer, BO2, nostalgic multiplayers. But I think with zombies, and even on the older games, each map is its own experience, and there's a reason why you'd want to play BO1 Ascension compared to Black Ops 3 Ascension.
Right.
Because they all have their own feel and their own personality, and each zombie map plays differently. And I think it's a completely different experience each map, and you can go back, since it has like the replay value of rounds, you can go and play it over and over and over, leave it for a year, then go back and get a nostalgia hit.
Yeah, I will always play the original over Chronicles.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Moon.
Like,
Moon, I like Moon,
kind of a yikes.
Yeah.
And I think
I agree.
All the other ones the originals are just so much better.
Especially Origins. I don't know if you feel like that, but Origins of Black Ops 3. I don't like Origins. It feels a bit, I don't know. I like the BO2 version more.
Hey, dude, you need the double slaps on Origins for it to be, fun. In my opinion, like it made it so much better. And like, PhD on like Ascension and stuff. Like, it's just not the same with Widow's Wine. Like, I used to love dolphin diving like off the platform where PhD was, and like just killing zombies over and over there. Mustang and Sally's like. Oh man, I just miss those experiences, and it just never was the same with Widows. Like I'll play it just to do the Easter egg or something, but not really like on purpose to have fun.
Yeah. What do you guys think is the most nostalgic zombie map in
Most
general?
nostalgic zombies map in general.
Ever. Obviously, I think it has to be something
Shoot.
maybe even pre Black Ops 3 for me personally. I think it'd have to be that. Something pre Black Ops 3 in a way.
It's a good question.
I
guys
would
think?
say Kino.
You think?
Kino.
Like I remember playing that when it came out.
But that I feel like World at War Reese has such a huge hit in nostalgia.
It really depends like when you started. I feel like. I've been playing since World at War. Like I played Reese when it came out, like all this stuff. But for some reason, man, I just think of Kino on launch of Black Ops. I put it in my game or console, and zombies was its like own section.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, wow.
Yeah, and then I remember like entering, like someone found the code where you could enter in and unlock 5 before leaving the campaign.
Yeah.
And then I was just overwhelmed essentially. And
honestly, I mean, I gotta go with Mob of the Dead with me personally, just because it's my favorite map of all time. And just playing it on launch day, yeah, Greg and I represent Mob of the Dead.
Let's go.
You know, just playing that map on launch, and I remember I told the story on the podcast before. I'll tell it again. It was the funniest thing on launch day when me and a group of friends from high school, we all jumped on Mob of the Dead and we went to the Golden Gate Bridge, and we all thought that was the Easter egg, and we thought we were the best zombies players in the world because we thought going to the Golden Gate Bridge was the Easter egg. And just I don't know, just the fun dumb things like that.
When I went in the crazy place, I thought I was like the greatest player too.
God,
like,
I think.
Oh man, it's just.
I think
nostalgia.
for me, I think Origins is a really nostalgic map because a lot of people played it back then. There's a lot of top 5s kind of dedicated to it as well, I think, and just Origins in general. Like, I feel like I don't know, maybe Rise and Dracat, but I feel like Origins was such a step up from the past maps. I think all the other maps are good. I think Mob is a great map for what it is as well, and they're two completely different maps. Mob is a map where you can get the wonder weapon from the box, and then you can get set up, and then it has such a great theme with the prison and the characters. I absolutely love it.
True.
But I think Origins, in terms of everything with the staff upgrades and the ability to get all your perks and like just all the stuff you can kind of do in the map. I think the most nostalgic map for me would either have to be Reese or Origins. 100%. One of them. I don't know which one for. I feel like World at War Reese is a more nostalgic, especially spawning in his Tank Dempsey every game you play.
Oh yeah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah!
Yeah.
Gotta turn on the power.
Oh great. We have to turn on the power again.
But no, I think maybe Origins for me is the most nostalgic map. I love Origins. I love brings a tear to my eye.
I think that's just such a subjective question.
It is
very true.
Everyone has their own memories, and that's what they will say, you know.
And that's what's great about the community, I think. Everybody has their own little experience. Man. They have their own
Everyone has their
introduction.
And opinions as well.
They have their own opinions as well, but, you know, we're talking about the good opinions. We're talking about the nice people of the community.
Yeah, the good opinions that I have.
Oh, man.
Yeah, your opinions don't matter. They're wrong.
They're wrong. You know, opinions are opinions, but your opinions are wrong.
Your opinions are wrong. If you do not agree with me, you do not play zombies.
I say that whenever I stream. It's so funny.
Oh man! And the sad part about it is too, people say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
Oh man. Craziness. But yeah, Call of Duty Zombies nostalgia, everybody. It's a high. It's great. I gotta say one of my most nostalgic moments for just the community as a whole was the start of Black Ops 3 and just the cycle and the Z House. The Z House is just huge nostalgia for the zombies community, and just watching those videos every day and just having fun and being like, wow, that'd be cool to hang out with those guys,
Yeah.
And now I can hang out with those guys. Greg, Matt. I mean, I know these guys now, and it's great. I love it. Everyone's my friend now, and I'm glad to be a part of this community.
Mm.
Oh yeah, zombies.
It's
Zombies
definitely
nostalgia.
tight knit, and that's what's really cool. Everyone's
Yeah.
so, for the most part, I would say like most of the community is very like welcoming, and everyone
Yeah.
gets along for the most part with each other.
Especially on the
Yeah.
content creator side of things, I feel like there really isn't a lot of disagreements kind of go along, and like I don't think, yeah, right now I can't really think of someone who's people may not like in a way. I think we all kind of get along, and we're all passionate about this game, and yeah, I think the zombie community kind of gets a bad rep in terms of maybe some people with bad opinions, and we got the people that say on Twitter, "Oh, Outbreak bad, BO4 bad, dead game, dead servers," stuff like that. I feel like that's the bad part there.
The
But
thing that
the
annoys
good
me
part,
the most is people dying on the like Cold War hill about it being
yeah,
like the best game and the best storyline and the best maps. It's like, did you ever play zombies before this? Like
before.
what?
Don't get me wrong. I think
Oh
D
man, I
Machine.
don't get
I
it.
think I think D Machine is a good map, and I think personally D Machine for me is the best map Cold War's done. I like Mauer, but I'm Firebase Z. But I think D Machine for me is my favorite map still. I think previous maps, it's just better back then. I don't even think that's nostalgia. I think just back in the day in Black Ops 3, the maps were just
You could go on a BO3 map like Shadows of the Horizon Drac, and there are so many side Easter eggs that add to the map and make it so much better. And
yeah.
when they barely have any in the newer games, and it like totally
that is
degrades the
definitely
map.
yeah.
Like,
I
I feel like
agree.
side Easter eggs were my favorite thing because there was always something new to find. Or like after the main Easter egg was done, the hype wasn't dead because there was still like 20 side Easter eggs to find on the maps,
And I think
Like I remember like the friendly Thrasher was like a month after
that was really
DNS
cool.
came out. Or
Yeah.
like the spider bait thing was like insane.
Right.
Like it would always get people more hyped about the maps.
Yeah.
Zetsubo. Yeah, I mean that just shows us as well. Personally, I know a lot of people hated Zetsubo at the time. Zetsubo has aged like a fine wine. I think it's definitely.
It's not as bad as people say, for sure.
Yeah,
No,
it's
absolutely,
not.
yeah.
And I mean, I go back and I play Zetsubo for fun, even just because I think it got to me it got better over time.
I think
I remember. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I remember on Horizon Jack, like all the Easter egg guides that were coming out that were like rushed said you had to do the clock step.
Right.
As like the first step, and like it has nothing to do with it at all. Like
I
you don't have
that.
to do it.
Oh, it's so funny, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man. And then Dalek released a fireboat tutorial and like left out the entire volcano part, which is like the most important part of the entire thing.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
You can forget about Noah J's fireboat tutorial. That was a pretty good video.
Oh yeah, no, totally right.
Yeah, that video that happened that he did.
God dang it.
That's the thing, again, about the zombie community. There's so many memes, even in the content side of things. Like even with Dalek, when Zombie Chronicles was happening and he showed Origins gameplay by accident.
You weren't supposed to see that.
You weren't supposed to see that. Like
more great memories.
The funniest shit happens in this community, and I know there's a slight toxic side, but I mean, how good is it?
I gotta say too, why is the funniest shit happen to Dalek all the time? Like the Origins gameplay, the nuclear family photos. Okay, I was on the ground laughing for like 10 minutes straight when I saw that. It's just family photos. It's just family photos. He was so confused. I was dying of laughter because like everyone else is getting all this serious like government intel. just got photos. I mean, like it's the funniest shit.
People are literally saying like it's nuclear.
And then the greatest part about it is too, there's a calling card for it now in the game.
Yeah, they added it in.
Oh, dude. And then the DM he got from Activision, please destroy all evidence, destroy all intel that you were like literally you weren't supposed to see that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Great moments in the community. We love it. Well, one more thing before we start wrapping up this episode. I gotta get your guys' opinion on something else Season 5 related of Cold War and Warzone, for that matter. The numbers event. What are we thinking about the numbers event? Initial thoughts.
There's a new DLC melee weapon, or a new melee weapon.
Yes.
So that's really all I care about at this point for that. I don't play Warzone. I'll do the challenges maybe if I want to.
And you know that's the thing. Like players like you and me. Honestly, I don't play a lot of Warzone. I play like Plunder and stuff on my downtime because I like Plunder. But you can complete and I like that they've been able to do this all the seasons. You can complete the seasonal events either in Cold War or Warzone because you have the two separate challenge trees, which I really like that. What do you think about it, Cosmic? What do you think about the numbers event?
I mean, the kind of in-game events, like I think they're all right, but I haven't been a massive fan of them, if being completely honest. So I guess I'm looking forward to it. Something else to do, definitely something to grind towards, and I'm looking forward to it. But in general, like I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Like Greg was saying, there's a new melee weapon you get from completing it. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, you get it from completing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
I'm definitely gonna have to grind it then.
Yeah. Well, I think there's definitely a reason for people to do it. Like, I'll do it for that free melee weapon, obviously, but I think it'll be okay. What about you, Jason? What do you think?
I think it's gonna be fun. Honestly, I've been enjoying the seasonal cutscenes they give us at the beginning that showcases the new operator, and it showcases a little bit more of the evolution, like the storyline past the Cold War campaign. I'm really liking it, to be honest, and
it could be a good way to introduce Mason as well with the numbers.
Yeah, that's another thing too. And the whole thing with the numbers, MK Ultra, all that, it's fascinating to me. So I'm really interested to see where it goes. And they have a little section in their blog post they posted the other day. Redacted has gone AWOL, and Redacted has to go and capture him or whatever, right? So I'm thinking the first Redacted is Adler goes AWOL, and the second Redacted is either Mason or some other character, Hudson. I know people were talking about, there was a secret mission for a Price to go and hunt down some of the characters. I forgot if it was Mason he was hunting down or something. I forgot which character specifically Price was supposed to be involved in a mission, but maybe we could see some tie-ins to that. And I believe Firebase Z confirmed the existence of that mission through intel or something along those lines. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be really interesting to see what happens there. In Warzone on Verdansk, you're going to be having these broadcast stations that you have to, I think, stop the broadcast from going out to Verdansk. And, it's going to be a point of contention in the map, which is going to be fairly interesting. And, I'm looking forward to the new melee weapon, which I think could honestly rival the E-Tool because they say it's really agile, it's really quick to use, and you'll have a good movement with it. So we might have a melee weapon to rival the E-Tool in Cold War Zombies. We'll have to see.
Interesting. I have no idea what it could be, honestly.
Well, it's dual wield. That's what I know. It's the dual wield size, the Japanese assassin's weapon, which is fitting because obviously Kitsune is the cover operator for this season. So yeah, it'll be fun. Nice little thematic. Oh my God, there's a word I'm looking for here. Nice thematic touch, I guess, for lack of a better word. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for GregFPS. Thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast. You were a great guest, and we want to have you on again, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I always loved being on podcasts and interacting with everyone. So thanks for having me.
Thanks
no
for
problem
coming on,
at all.
man.
We'll have to get you on again soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you again so much for joining us, Greg. And we'll catch you later, man.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
See ya.
Well, that was GregFPS, everybody. He had to get going, so we're just going to do the rest of this episode with just me and Cosmic. So, man, we talked about a lot of good stuff today.
We did.
It was really, really fun, I think. We talked about Season 5 Reloaded. We talked about Call of Duty Zombies nostalgia.
Absolutely.
We talked about a lot of fun stuff today, man.
Yeah.
And it was great having Greg on. We've been meaning to get
Absolutely.
Greg on the show for a while, and I'm glad we finally did it.
Finally got him on, yeah.
Yeah, Greg's a cool guy. And obviously, we didn't mention this during the podcast, too, but I think it's worth mentioning that obviously Greg is part of Obey Undead. So, Obey Undead and Greg doing stuff with that. I think that's really cool. And, you know, kind of my point that I was making earlier in the live stream talking about, you know, with the top fives being a staple of the zombies community and how that really is the first stepping stone to where we are now.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. If you were to tell people years ago, back when those top fives were huge, that the zombies community would have its own esports team in Obey Undead and like esports events and things like that, they'd be like, "You're crazy." Like they'd be like, "What?
Crazy.
Like how would zombies have that?" And now we do.
Yeah.
So to me, the top five revolution, I guess you could call it, right? If we were zombies historians and we were writing things down, the top five revolution, you know, something like that. That's a huge stepping stone, a huge cornerstone of the zombies community, I think. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. That was another thing I wanted to expand upon, but you know, Greg had to get going, so I couldn't expand upon that with him.
He used anywhere.
He used anywhere but here, right? He used anywhere but here with the secret side Easter egg on Zetsubo that Kevin Drew said. Okay, but for real, before we end off the show, how crazy is that? Like there was supposed to be an anywhere but here side Easter egg confirmed.
That would make sense.
By Kevin
Drew.
That would
make sense, Phil, because we need it for the Easter egg.
Yeah.
Step. So. That's the thing, Phil. You think they have it in because you have to. If you don't load up with that gobblegum, you don't get to do it. You know,
right.
So having the gobblegum so you can naturally get it, not a bad idea at all.
Because the thing is, too, they've had other Easter eggs to give you free gobblegum on Shadows of Evil on Drak, but
the one map you need it.
The one map you need it's not there. I really, honestly, am genuinely curious why they cut it. Like, did it just not work? Was there a problem with the side Easter egg? Like, I genuinely want to know why it didn't work.
I think it's called zombies in general. I'd love to see a list of everything that was ever fought off and cut out of the game.
Yeah.
Because I bet you go to transit bus route B. Oh,
100%. Probably. Yeah. I mean, I think that's irrefutable at this point. Not just a meme, but I think a cut feature for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, crazy stuff on the podcast today.
Absolutely.
Got some confirmed information from Kevin Drew as well, which I was not expecting that. The Onslaught beta.
The Onslaught beta. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Dude,
listen.
That gets me hyped. That gets me really excited.
Thank you for playing the Onslaught beta.
That gets me excited.
Come on.
That's awesome.
I think we're in for a really fun game mode coming down the line very soon. Perhaps in Vanguard or Cold War 2.
I think Vanguard is going to be the culmination of all they've learned from Onslaught, and they're really. I think they're gonna go in hard with that game mode in Vanguard. And will I go as far as saying that Onslaught won't be a PlayStation exclusive just because it's going to be a big, expansive game mode? I think there's a possibility that it will not be a PlayStation exclusive because it'll be fully fleshed out. However, on the flip side, I think there is a possibility for it to be an exclusive because it is going to be an expansive and fleshed out game mode. And then,
and a reason for you to buy a PlayStation.
Exactly, right? So there's two sides of this that I think could happen, but either way, I'm looking forward to seeing if Onslaught comes back in Vanguard Zombies or not.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I think the community after Black Ops 4 went down and Cold War has gone up, and now it's kind of leveled. I think with Vanguard, I'm going to do a weird thing with my hand here. I'm going to go like that. If I'm being completely honest. Yeah, it's going to skyrocket. Yeah, I think.
All right. Well, I hope your prediction is true, man. I really hope. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be wrapping things up here for episode 61 of the Division Z podcast. What was your favorite part? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out the links in the description so you stay up to date with everything me and K Cosmic do, as well as our merch link, and follow us on Twitter. That was a mouthful. That's okay. Had to get all the links and all the promotion out there.
Yep.
Had to get it out there. And any closing thoughts?
Just good episode. I wish Greg was still here so I could say thank you for coming on. Obviously, I'm guessing he'll watch this. Thank you for coming on, man. It was a great episode. I'm about to get you on again soon.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you to GregFPS for being our guest today, and have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world, and we'll see you guys on another episode of the Division Z podcast very soon. Peace out.
Hi, everyone.